Do you also have this feeling when you get home, you open your door, and the first thing you see is a big pile of unopened envelopes laying everywhere? Or maybe you have invoices remaining on countertops for days and days. Managing our paperwork is not easy, right? We miss the deadline, we forget which invoice was already paid or not, we lose the papers, and so on. I know that this is even worse when you manage a company. Actually, now that I work at Odoo, I've got a better understanding of how difficult and long-lasting the administrative aspect of managing a company really is. The time taken for paperwork is always distracting you from your core business, and we all know how time-consuming this can be. Therefore, Odoo's mission has always been to make sure that the end user finds the right tools to spare some time when managing your sales. Creating a good quotation for your clients is one of the most important aspects in your business sales flow, as it can make the difference between missing or converting a sale. Therefore, creating a right quotation shouldn't be underestimated. Too often, I see business owners ending up creating quotations for their clients in a rush, which ends up with inconsistent results. They don't use the same price, they don't use the same layout, they don't use the same timing, and this leads to unsteady quotations. Moreover, those quotations take a long time to write. They need to be reviewed, adapt, increased in quantities, added on products, and so on. Finally, if you still create your quotation on Excel, Canva, or Word, this can be tricky to master, as those are not intended to create quotations natively. This is why I will demonstrate today how Odoo streamlines your sales process with a reliable, efficient, and intuitive interface. So, my name is Thomas, and I work as a functional support analyst at Odoo since 1 year. I will be glad to answer all your questions at the end of this talk. So, if you want, you can already scan this QR code to access the path and write down all of your questions. So I will give you a couple of seconds to scan it, and once that we are ready, we will now jump into this demo. All right, so first of all, welcome to my looping marketing company, where we've been helping businesses to grow through tailored strategies, impactful campaigns, and data-driven results. After many years of experience, our creative firm has been growing a lot, and we are now starting to use Odoo to boost our development and to manage our quotations like a piece of cake. Our customers have a lot of gateways to get in touch with us, so either by phone, by email, and so on. But one of the most convenient tools that we use is our contact form directly on our website. So let's see how this works. All right, here we are. Welcome to our beautiful website. It was actually created automatically thanks to the Odoo website builder, in a couple of minutes even. So you can see that such a professional website really helped to raise our brand awareness, and it is our preferred communication channel. Once our clients land on our website, they will be able to check our services, our pricing, and even a bit more about us. But the tool that really interests us is our contact form. This is a simple but super powerful tool, as it shows visitors that we are accessible while giving them an easy and convenient way to reach out to us. Moreover, collecting the data in a structured way allows us to make sure that we will be always able to get back to them. So let's pretend now that I'm our famous customer, Marcus, and that I want to get in touch with our company. So we'll start by filling this form. My phone number will be this one, my email, and check what happens when I fill in my company. So you see, immediately I have a conditional fields that appear to say which type of customer it is. This is really convenient because as a business owner, I always want to make sure that I know which type of customer he is when he fills his company details. So in this case, I will select a regular customer, and my subject will be that I want help to create a video. All right, like this. So Marcus has filled his form, and I will now jump back in the shoes of my business owner, and as every morning, I will open my dashboard. You can see that we have very convenient apps, and I will first start my day with my CRM. So in this good-looking pipeline, I will first check all the opportunities that we have currently, and I will start with the one that we received today. So this is the one from Marcus. I'll always start with setting the expected revenue. So I know by experience that for video creation, we generally expect 1,000 euros in revenue. And I even have the probability to win this opportunity calculated with AI. So I can even show you how it's computed. So the next thing that I will do is to create my contact. So in this case, I will directly create a new one for Marcus, and boom. In a second, I have all the details that Marcus filled in the contact form appearing on the screen. So I have his name, his email address, his phone number, and even his company. So I'll be able to save it, and now I'm using Marcus as a customer. So I still have the email, the phone. I can now change the salesperson, and I will assign my favorite employee, William. I can check I can set the expecting closing by the end of this month, and even increase a bit the priority. And look, another cool feature, the tag that I set on my contact form is even retrieved directly here. So that's less clicks for me, and it's a way to automate your business. So I have all the information that I need. My opportunity is well filled in, and let's pretend now that I'm having a phone call directly with Marcus. He's telling me that actually he would like to receive a quote to know about our services. So in this case, I will qualify my lead. We can directly see that it has moved in the next stage in our pipeline. And I will even let William know that I will create a quote for this client. Hello, William. I'll create a quotation for this client. All right, I can log him a note. And just so you know, in the chatter on the right side of the screen, we have different possibilities to either send the message to the client, log a note like I did, or even create an activity to be sure that we will never forget anything. All right, now in Odoo, I've got always smart buttons at the top of the screen that allow me to create, for example, in this case, a new quotation directly from this opportunity. So this is really well conceived, and it allows me to save some time. I don't have to jump from one app to the other. All right, so now let's start our quotation. I see that my customer has already been inherited from the opportunity, and the key feature that I like the most is our quotation template. So in this case, I can directly, instead of starting from scratch, select the quotation that I want and check. Boom. In a second, I have my whole quotation appearing on the screen. Isn't it convenient? Okay, so for the sake of this purpose, I will now adapt a bit this quotation to make sure that it really suits the needs of my client. And I will start by checking everything that I have here. So in my products, I have a first line of as a section. I will find my words. Then we have my first workshop. In this case, I will increase to 2 half days because they're interested to have more than just one. For the marketing campaign analysis, I will keep just 1 unit. For the marketing campaign visuals, I will increase this to 8. And you can see even that it automatically recomputes the total amount. For the digital marketing service, I will increase my SEO optimization to 8 hours. And you can see that I added a little note to tell them that it's generally minimum 3 hours. Regarding the social networks, I know that they only use Facebook and Instagram. So in this case, I will just remove the other ones. And I'm also selling some office packs with business cards, for example. But in this case, let's pretend that they're interested for our roll-ups. So in this case, I will directly add a product in this section, select my roll-up, and I have a product page appearing here. So in this case, I can even choose between some different sizes, and I will select my custom size, which even comes with an extra price. All right, let's confirm this, but let's see what happens. I see that my product is not available at the moment. So that's really convenient because from my quotation, I can see in a glimpse if my product is available or not. So in this case, I will not select this roll-up. I will select the regular sized one. All right. let's continue to go a bit further with this. I'm thinking that I'm not really sure that I want to enforce my clients to buy my business cards. I think that this should be more optional. So in this case, I can just remove this line and I will add it in the optional product section. So once again, I will select my business cards. I will still recommend them to buy at least 3 packs. And now this will appear in the quotation as an optional product. Furthermore, I want to set my marketing campaign workshops as 2 separate dates, and I want to make it a bit more clear regarding this. So in this case, I will use the new feature in Odoo 19. I will add a subsection directly here. So I will make, for example, workshop 1, and I will drag and drop at the top of the screen, and I will add another subsection, workshop part 2. And in this case, I will add directly a new product in this section. So my workshop, which will have to appear here. I will keep my campaign analysis at the end, and now it's a bit better. So I just have to reduce this by 1. And now I have my first part of the workshop and the second one. All right, this is starting to look great. Another thing that I would like to add is the famous video recording services. So in this case, I will add directly a new section for video creation, and I will add a new product. Instead of manually adding the product, I can always check directly in our catalog. This is a really convenient view, as it allows us to see directly all the products that we have, and I can even specify in which section I want them to appear. So in this case, I will select my video quotation, and I will add my video production services. I will add 3 hours, and when I come back to my quotation, it will directly appear at the right stage. All right. Let's check a bit further. In this case, I still have all the details of my products that are appearing, and now I will continue and move on with the price list. In this case, I know that my customers earn a lot of money, and I won't be hesitating to charge them a bit more. So in this case, I can directly move to my very rich customers price list, and in a glimpse, I will be able to recompute all the prices appearing in my quotation. So this is really convenient, so I won't have to manually cover each line. So in this case, I will proceed and update the prices. And in a second, my whole quotation has been increased by 15%. But I'm still very nice, and I will grant them a little discount of 5% on all the other lines. All right, I'm starting to have a good-looking quotation. The next thing that I want to check is our famous quote builder. So in this case, by default, I always add our header. So it's a first cover page that will precede our quotation. And in this case, I will also add my terms and conditions at the end. I will finally also add the payment terms in 30 days. And I will make sure that in the other info tab, I have my online signature and online payment activated. And look, you can even find the tags that were coming from the opportunity. All right, so I will print just to make sure that everything is looking great. And we can see my quotation. So look, this is really beautiful, right? I even have my quotation number appearing on the first page. This is possible thanks to the dynamic field that I can add on any document. So this is really convenient. I can really tailor how I want to have my quotations. All right, I can make sure that everything looks great and my terms and conditions are appearing. All right. So the next step is maybe to tell William that everything was done. Like this. And then I will be able to send my quotation to my client. All right. So my quotation has been sent, and now I can show you how it looks like from their point of view. So if I click on preview, this is what my customers will see. So he has again the possibility to see how his quotation is looking, and as I told you, is even able to add an optional product. So in this case, when I add the business cards to the quotation, he will be even able to increase the quantity. Furthermore, he will be able to directly sign and pay online. And for the sake of this demo, I will use my demo payment method. All right, everything is looking good. So I'll go back directly to my sales order, like this. And I can see now in the chatter that this has been confirmed by the client and that everything is looking great. In the delivery section, I see that my delivery order was created for the 2 physical products that I have to deliver. So I can just validate this one. And when I go back, I will be able, with my smart button, to directly create the invoice for this customer. So that's the last step that is remaining. And I can, once again, in a split second, create a good-looking invoice. I can just confirm it, and Odoo will even notice that it's already in payment as my client paid online. So in this case, nothing is due anymore, and this is closing this sales flow. A last thing that I wanted to mention is that this is only a specific sales flow that I'm showing, but there are multiple ways to get paid by your clients or to give them the possibility to receive the quotation. So in this case, for example, you could directly generate a payment link for the quotation. In this case, you see that Odoo is smart enough to know that the client has already paid, so in this case, there is nothing to do at this stage. All right, let's now go back to the slides, and I will recap the perks of Odoo compared to other tools. As I told you, Odoo is always reliable, as it will allow you to deliver consistent and coherent quotations to your client. You will be able to adapt your prices using price lists, use a good-looking layout across all your documents with our quote builder, and even send them on time. Regarding the efficiency, we've seen how clear this interface is for both you and your customer. Our customer portal allows your clients to proceed with their payments immediately, which greatly reduces the outstanding payments. That's a nice way to collect your money, right? Finally, the intuitiveness of Odoo is outstanding. We've seen how easily you could navigate from an opportunity, then to a quotation, and then convert it into a sales order, and finally create your invoice. And all of this is completely integrated with some smart buttons allowing you to manage your sales flow like a piece of cake. So, will you start using Odoo to manage your sales like an expert, or will you continue to be overwhelmed with your quotations laying everywhere like I used to do? The choice is now yours. All right. All right, so now.
Hello. Yeah. So we have multiple questions. First one. Is it possible to configure several price lists on the same sale order?
Okay, so for this, actually, you can select one price list per quotation, but I can maybe show you that you can select on what part of the quotation the price list will be active. So if I go back to my database, if you go in the price list, for example, this one, in this case, I made it applying to all products, but you can choose if you want to apply it to different categories, specific products, and you can even check how you can configure this like you want. This is something that was covered in another talk, so I really encourage you to have a look at it.
Is it possible to add custom fields in the contact form on the website?
Yeah. So in this case, I will maybe also show you directly. If I go to my contact form and check, in this case, I only added this specific conditional field. So you see that it's visible only if your company is set, but actually there are a lot of different fields that you can use. So basically all the ones that are native in Odoo. Once again, this form is completely editable, so you can add as many questions as you wish, and really make it suit your need.
Where do the payments go?
Right, so the payments are linked generally with your online synchronization. So when your client pays online, it's arriving directly on your bank account, and then you can retrieve the transaction directly on in your accounting app. Then you will be able to reconcile the payments directly with the quotation and make sure that everything is well balanced in the end.
How do you connect the contact form to the CRM?
How let's check. Oh yeah, so in this case, I can directly show you again. So if you select your contact form, so I will select the whole form, sorry. In this case here, you have an action button that can either create an opportunity, send an email, or make the other options. In this case, I only have this one active on my database, but depending on the apps that you currently have, you can have multiple actions possible.
Can we hide that from the quotation and invoice reports without customization?
I'm not sure that I'm... Oh, to the VAT. Let's check this. So in this case, we have a new feature, but I'm not really sure it's related to the VAT. But in your quotation, if I open mine, we have now the possibility to hide some sections, but not specifically the VAT. So maybe you can check this question further at the support booth if you want to have more information, just to be sure.
Where can you configure the quotation template?
Yeah, so the quotations template actually are directly available, in configuration and then quotation templates. So in this case, you can directly prepare them beforehand and have all your products appearing. You can have some descriptions that will replace the name of the product. You can have optional products, your terms and conditions, and even the quote builder like I used. You can also make sure that you have the online signature and the online payment and some extra features. But this is really well managed and really easy to use.
How can you change the quotation and invoice layout?
Yeah, so in the settings, you have the general document layout here. So you can use different layouts that are already in all databases and that you are free to use depending on which layout you prefer. You can adapt the colors and even a bit some extra fields right here.
Can my customer validate a quotation into a sale order without upfront payment?
Yes, so in this case, I showed you that when we select our quotation and we go in the Order Info tab, we have either the online signature or the online payment. In my demo, I activated both, but you can definitely choose to only have the online signature to not enforce a client to pay online and just use the online signature to legally bind them with your company.
How are projects connected to the quotation?
Yeah, so in this case, I haven't activated this in my database because I don't have downloaded the project app, but you can have a quotation which will create a project. So this will be configured at the product level, and you will be able to create directly a project when you have that will be linked with your quotation. I can unfortunately not show you this right now, but once again, feel free to come to the support booth so that we can show you how this works.
Where can I configure my payment provider?
Yeah, so for the payment providers, in this case, we have a lot of them right here. So we have SEPA, Molly, Worldline, Stripe. So there are really a lot of those, which will create then the payment methods that you can set on your website and allow your customer to pay with the multiple methods.
How to configure a dynamic field on the header of the quotation?
Yeah, okay, so for this, I will open the headers and the footers. And in my header, in this one, actually, I will have to activate deep mode. All right, so let's just go back. Yeah, so when you load your header and footers, you have to edit them directly on the software to be sure that you have dynamic fields appearing on them. And then when you upload them in Odoo, you will have this option which will appear to allow you to configure the dynamic fields. So we'll just have to match the name of the technical name from Odoo with the one from the fields that is configured on your document. And then it will be automatically used. All right. I see that's running out of time, so thanks a lot for your attention, and have a nice day.